The first night in my new house, it didn't creak. It breathed. They told me the house was empty. That was a lie. People in Grey Hollow said the house at the end of Mirewood Lane was empty. That was a lie. It wasn't empty. It was waiting. I moved to Grey Hollow after my divorce, chasing silence the way wounded animals chase shadows. The town was small, damp, and wrapped in fog most mornings. Mirewood Lane was cheaper than anywhere else, and the landlord avoided eye contact when handing me the keys. "You'll hear things," he muttered. "Old pipes. Wind." I didn't believe him. I should have. The first night, the house sighed. Not a creak or groan, an actual breath. Slow, deep, as if the walls expanded and collapsed around me. I lay in bed counting seconds between each inhale, telling myself it was stress, exhaustion, imagination. But when I pressed my palm against the bedroom wall, it was warm. Warm like skin. The first sign. Strange things began subtly. Doors didn't just open, they waited, stopping halfway as if unsure whether I was ready to see what lay beyond. The mirrors fogged even when no water ran. At night, I smelled iron and damp soil, like freshly dug graves. One morning I found muddy footprints in the hallway, bare feet, too many toes. They led to the basement door. I locked it and tried to forget. The town's silence. When I asked the neighbors about the house, conversations ended abruptly. People suddenly remembered errands. One woman crossed herself. An old man whispered, "It remembers." "What remembers?" I asked. He stared at me, eyes glassy. "The house doesn't like being alone." That night, the breathing grew louder. The basement. Curiosity is not bravery, it's hunger. A week later, I unlocked the basement door. The stairs descended into darkness that felt thick, as though light itself was afraid to enter. Halfway down, I realized the air smelled sweet, rot masked by something floral. The walls were lined with old photographs. Families, couples, children, all taken inside the house. And in every photo, every single one, the people were smiling while something behind them was not. A shadow, a blur, a shape pressed against the wall like a second skin. At the end of the basement stood a door that hadn't been there before. It was breathing. The room without corners, the door opened on its own. Inside was a room that hurt to look at. It had no corners. The walls curved inward like ribs, pulsing gently. The floor felt soft beneath my feet, like thick muscle. In the center stood a mirror. I stumbled backward, the door slammed shut, the walls tightened. "You stayed," the reflection said, its mouth moving slightly out of sync. When I looked into it, I saw myself, but older, hollow-eyed, smiling too wide. The house laughed, the history no one told. I escaped the room somehow, I don't remember how, and fled to the town library the next day. The librarian watched me with pity as I searched through old newspapers. Mirewood Lane had once been an orchard, then a hospital, then an asylum, then nothing. Every iteration ended the same way. Unexplained disappearances, sealed records, buildings burned or abandoned. But the land remained. And eventually someone built a house on it. A house that absorbed, a house that learned. The voices began after that. They whispered through vents, outlets, even the sink drain. Familiar voices, my mother, my ex-wife, myself. "Stay," they begged. "Don't leave us alone." One night I woke to find fingerprints pressing outward from the walls. Dozens of them, stretching the paint thin like skin about to tear. "Help us," the house murmured. I tried to leave the next morning. The front door wouldn't open. The feeding. The house needed more than presence. It needed pain. Objects began moving on their own. Plates shattered near my feet. Nails appeared under my pillow. The temperature dropped until my breath frosted indoors. I realized then the house wasn't attacking me. It was teaching me despair. Every night it replayed my worst memories on the walls like living murals. Every regret, every failure. Until I cried, screamed, begged. And the breathing would slow, satisfied. The truth beneath the walls. I broke through a section of the basement wall one night, driven by madness or clarity. I still don't know which. Behind it was not dirt. It was flesh, layers of it. Embedded within were bones, faces, hands reaching outward, mouths frozen in eternal screams. "They're part of us now," the house whispered lovingly. I recognized one face. The landlord. Becoming home. I stopped fighting after that. Resistance only made it hungry. The house began reshaping itself around me. Doorways grew taller where I walked. My favorite chair molded perfectly to my body. The breathing synced with my heartbeat. "You understand us," it crooned. "You belong." I started forgetting the world outside, the fog, the town, my own last name. I remembered only the house, the new residence. One evening I heard knocking. Actual knocking. A young couple stood on the porch, smiling nervously. They were house hunting, loved quiet places, needed a fresh start. I opened the door. The house inhaled deeply behind me, and for the first time since I arrived, I smiled without fear. Epilogue. People in Grey Hollow still say the house on Mirewood Lane is empty. That's not true. It's full and it's breathing.